Today on the show, we're going to be diving into one of the most pressing topics in global sustainability, green mobility. With the world now pushing for greener alternatives in energy and transport, Ethiopia is making significant strides toward greener development. So, in today's episode, we'll be delving into some of the contributions of green mobility toward Ethiopia's overall growth trajectory, as well as some of the lessons other countries can draw from this amazing journey. And to break it all down for us today, I'm so honored to be joined by the State Minister for Transport and Logistics, Barao Hassan Barao. His contribution in the promotion as well as implementation of green mobility has been instrumental. I'm your host, Shifar Alag. Do stay with us. State Minister Barao Hassan, thank you very much for joining me, for making the time to talk to us.
Most welcome.
Let's first off talk about the overall meaning of green mobility and why it is so significant for Ethiopia as we speak.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming and being concerned on this critical issue. Green mobility means every mobility, every transport service which depends on the renewable energy, environmentally friendly and also societally healthy mode of transport. Mostly green mobility, mostly aligned with the electric mobility. Most of vehicles who are utilize electric power, source of power, hydropower, but the combination and the definition, the combination of vehicles could be different. Under electric vehicles, we have different categories of vehicles like hybrid, range extended, full plug-in, and different vehicles, but mostly green mobility refer to electric mobility. But other components are there also, hydrogen vehicles, and also currently we also are considering to implement CNG vehicles. It's also related with green source of energy, but some it's emitting gas, but green mobility related with e-mobility.
So what is the importance of green mobility for Ethiopia?
Yeah, we are a voice for a climate challenge of Africa, and also we are working on holistic, very ambitious green economic development. Our green legacy is a famous initiative, which is led by our Prime Minister, and also we are planting billions of seedlings per year, and also every developmental endeavors on ground is are focused to make environment not harming environment. Right. We are trying to tackle environmental challenge with our practice, like planting seedlings, and also introducing e-mobility or green mobility, green transport. Transport by itself emanates high volume of carbon dioxide to environment, and also it has its own negative impact to harm our environment. So reducing or shifting this negative part from transport by itself is part of our grand green development endeavor, and also our green legacy initiatives.
That's a great way to look at it. So, building on that, where exactly does Ethiopia stand in advancing green mobility in the country?
Yeah, Ethiopia, in Africa, we are a leading nation in green mobility implementation. This leading role comes from bold commitment from the government, political backup. As you know, starting from 2024, we banned the internal combustion engine vehicles, especially from automobiles. Now we are scaling up that banning scope to light freight vehicles and also other segments. And also our government introduced different strategies to lead this green mobility implementation, like we have environmentally resilient transport strategy, And also currently we approved our national electric vehicles implementation strategy from 2025 to 2030, which is really aligned with an African agenda and also the Vienna Convention. And also our government are introducing different incentive policy or strategies on ground to attract green mobility implementation, like tax exemptions. And also we are introducing plates, we are changing plates, and we dedicate green plate for EV users. And also they will give on ground some sorts of attractive treatment, like discount on public charging stations and giving priority on highways and so on and so on. So non-financial and financial incentive packages are there. And also we are considering the financial and also insurance companies' engagement on this sector to make sustainable implementation on ground. Further, we wanted to be part of carbon finance to finance the challenges and also the implementation, the utilizers on ground. We wanted to have our own stake on carbon financing. We are dealing with an international organization like Indian Climate Fund, and also we are working with the World Bank too. So these government proactive decisions and also bold policy backup and also the attractive policy incentive packages makes our e-mobility implementation very leading in Africa. Currently, we becomes the forefront runner in this implementation. Like Europe in total have 7 to 8% of EV implementation from their stock. This is the total average implementation of Europe. But under Europe, there is the nations who reached 98%, 90% of implementation. Like in Norway, becomes a leading nation, and 99% now becomes EV. But Ethiopia now reaches it from its stock, around 7% of the stock is EV, which is a great implementation, and no country can have such implementation coverage in short period of time. And also we are shifting our assemblies scope. No one will continue with the assembly of conventional vehicles. We gave them circular, and everyone are shifting its assembly factory scope to EV assembly, from two-wheelers to city bus and heavy-duty trucks. So our strategy is in between, holistic, and also the leading in every criteria. We have different standards, strategies, and also practical government incentive package.
Let's also talk about some of the contributions of green mobility, be it economically or social-culturally in Ethiopia toward its overall development and growth trajectory. So could you walk me through some of the contributions of green mobility toward Ethiopia's overall growth trajectory?
Yeah, the first, state expenditure will be reduced. We will get a relief from huge amount of expenditure, or we're spending about 6.4, sometimes 5.6, sometimes 4.6 billion USD for fossil fuel import. This amount of money by itself can build huge projects on ground other areas. So we will get relief from this kinds of huge expenditure, and also we will tackle environmental challenges like emission from vehicles, and also we can avoid noise emission, noise pollution from our cities like Addis Ababa, and also our individuals, our end users, private expenditure will be reduced, because when we utilize electric vehicles for 5 years, if we utilize it very well mannered, for 5 years there is no maintenance cost, and also the charging rate is very low related to fossil fuel or foil. So our individuals, utilizers or end users expenditure, private expenditure will be reduced. In combination, state expenditure will be reduced, and also will be full-fledged our our climate change challenges on our transport and logistics sector, and also we'll gradually want to escape from this kind of dependency, energy dependency. Transport and logistics is a very critical sector. It's an enabler for every sector, every mobility, every economic connectivity. So this kind of critical sector shouldn't be dependent on uncertain routes of logistics. This importation comes from an uncertain routes. You know, we mobilize it through Red Sea. That area becomes uncertain, and different actors' interests are there. So we couldn't be depend on such kinds of uncertain scenario. We are a big nation, and also this is a very, very critical sector. Our economy is boosting up or increasing in increasing rates, and also our population demand is very increasing. So this critical sector should be escaped from such kinds of dependency, because we have an abundant renewable energy resources like hydro, wind, solar, now see energy. So we have diversified capability of energy. So our focus is to become self-resource utilization and also energy sufficient. Energy sovereignty is our great ultimate goal to be achieved through this effort.
Interesting. Building on that, sir, as you know, there have been different enabling conditions and environment for Ethiopia to practically start implementing green mobility. Could you walk me through some of the enabling conditions in Ethiopia that foster green transformation in the country in particular and the region in general?
Enabling environment, great question. First, there is a policy clarity. We have bold, clear policy, and also the proactive government decision is there. Our private sector response is very attractive, and also now we have also an academic institution engagement. So based on this enabling policy backup, the implementation will be achieved easily as we want. The second one is the world direction becomes e-mobility or green mobility. Most of developing nations are shifting their transport focus to green mobility because you know the energy politics, fossil fuel politics, and also environmental advocacy is becoming so convincing now. Climate challenge is one of the enabling area for this strive on ground. So the fourth one I can mention is our institutional synergy. I mentioned we approved our national EV implementation strategy 2025 to 2030. Under that strategy, we identified or we linked more than 18 federal institutions, including ministries and also affiliated institutions. Those institutions have their own role, and also they take the responsibility boldly and they submit their specific cluster-based plan. So we create some sorts of a different collaboration and synergy on this strategic endeavor. So that's a great thing that can create us confidence on this strategic strive. So the fifth one is we have standards on this area, EV standards, station standards, and also last year we approved our emission standard, which is compulsory. So the strategic clarity is there, standardization is there, institutional synergy and collaboration is there, and the government bold and proactive decision is there. So we have, I mentioned earlier, we have energy resource like renewable energy source. So these all things can make this strategy very sustainable and also easily implemented.
Moving on from there, I think Ethiopia is making important strides toward green mobility, and I personally believe that other African countries can learn from this amazing initiative. So could you tell me some of the lessons that other African countries can draw from Ethiopia's move toward green mobility and green development?
Yeah, e-mobility, when you think to implement e-mobility or when you think about shifting from conventional to e-mobility, the first thing you have to make is the political landscape should be clear. and also you have to be stick on your decisions. When we make a decision on banning IC engine, we suffered from different actors. We get a response and a challenge from different continental, international, and also our government, and also national institutions. The people want to stay there with the conventional vehicles, but the country is making and deciding its future. So that is the sovereignty matter, not only sectoral-wise decision or shifting. So when you make such kinds of shifting, you have to have a strong, clear, and also resilient political backup or political decisions, and also strategic clarity. So that's one. The first thing should be clear. The second one is this kind of shifting needs very attractive incentive package and responses. So you have to have a clear strategies for incentives, for end users protection, and also the implementation scope should be lead with clear implementation plans. Like everyone should be give a concern and focus to its implementation. So you have to protect your utilizers and also your industry playmakers like importers, assembly factories. They will stay there. So when you come up with shifting, you have to convince them, and also you have to protect them. That's why we are making the tax exemptions, and also when they shifting the industry-wise, we are trying to save them on land provision, and also tax exemptions, financial provision, and also loan, and such kinds of scenarios should be easy for them. They are very sensitive. So you have to have a holistic approach to make sustainable e-mobility or green mobility landscape. So Ethiopia done on this area, and also some areas we miss are like you have to have a resilient and aggressive implementation on investment on public charging stations. Charging stations is very critical to have sustainable e-mobility or green mobility implementation. So that's why our state-owned enterprises are investing on charging stations. City mayors are making with their building code itself. Addis Ababa City Administration made mandatory for city building code. Charging stations should be there. No one can get a license without indicating charging stations as a real estate, as a hotel, and so on. Such kinds of bold political decisions is very critical, and also holistic focus, like Ethio Telecom are investing on fast charging station. It's a state-owned enterprise, so they take the government direction and also the burden on citizens. So such kinds of holistic strive is very critical to have a sustainable green mobility implementation. And also assembly factories, after-sales services, garages, technology solutions, such kinds of strive is very critical. But we are making such kinds of holistic strive on ground. That's why we are successful in very short period of time and becomes a leading nation in Africa.
As you know, Ethiopia has recently made history by launching its LNG, that's liquefied natural gas, for the first time on Ethiopian soil. And many agree that this is a big stride toward Ethiopia's greener development in different aspects of the country's move toward a green development and green transformation. How would you describe CNG or LNG's contributions towards Ethiopia's move toward green development and green transformation in general?
Yeah, it's a great question, and congratulations for that. And becomes energy producer. It's another milestone. Yeah, it's we gave us some sorts of confidence and also energy diversification. So when we make a shift from fossil fuel to CNG by far is very friendly and also less environmentally polluted source of energy. It could be very close to renewable energy or very safe energy related with fossil fuel. So becomes the producer of this energy is very great milestone, and I appreciate the government's bold decision, and we will utilize for transport and logistics, mostly for trucks and buses will utilize such energy. Because as I mentioned, we are trying to make energy sovereignty. Making sovereignty means many things. So having CNG in this time, it's the right time we get this chance to be producer. So for this sector, it's great chance, great opportunity, and also it makes our green mobility strive more confidential and also more sustainable, and we'll have holistic shift from fossil fuel dependency to our own resources. Like, as I mentioned, we own renewable energy in bulky in different segments like wind, hydro, solar, geothermal, and so on. Now we add with a couple of our energy the LNG, which is a great thing. So this is a blessing chance we get, and also we'll utilize it. We are focusing for which category we will utilize it, which station should be created, what standard we should follow, and we are working on it. And definitely we will have a composition of CNG gas, CNG trucks, CNG buses, electric bus, electric trucks, and also different segments of energy vehicles.
State Minister for Transport and Logistics, Barao Hassan. Barao, thank you very much for your perspectives and ideas.
Yes, it's my pleasure. Yeah, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of today's deep dive into Ethiopia's green mobility move, the lessons that other African countries draw from this initiative, and the overall implications of this initiative for Ethiopia's growth trajectory and economic development. A huge thank you to my guest today, and of course, many thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen, for having been with us so far. Stay informed and stay green. Until next time.